This is Blackwater National Wildlife Refuge in eastern Maryland. This place is home to over 250 species of bird, along with the rarest mammal in the Delmarva Peninsula. But unfortunately, the only footage I have of it is this. Today, we will be searching for this mysterious creature and find many other fascinating animals along the way, like this brown creeper. Because of the way they're built, they almost always climb up and rarely climb down. But meanwhile, down in Diefenbach Pond swim two male ring-necked ducks. They actually do have a ring around their neck, but it is hard to see because it is very faint. In another body of water is a species of duck that we saw in a previous video known as a ruddy duck. Back in Diefenbach Pond is a giant flock of snow geese. They are dwarves compared to the larger tundra swans. Worldwide, it is estimated that there are about over 16 million snow geese, and over 1,000 of them can be found right here at this time. Snow geese spend the winter in parts of the United States and Mexico to escape harsh conditions in the Arctic, which is where they breed in the summer months. There, they can be found from northern Greenland across Canada and Alaska, and west to Wrangel Island in Russia. However, these ones probably migrated from either Baffin Island, Ellesmere Island, or Greenland, and they're all landing in this field. It may appear odd that these birds are gathering in this seemingly barren land, but they are here for a reason, and that is to feast on leftover grain. There are even more geese here than there were in the National Wildlife Refuge. Just look at how many snow geese there are. And that was just part of the field. But at this point, you may have noticed that snow geese have two color morphs. One is white, and the other is dark. The dark ones are known as blue geese, and their gene is dominant over that of the white color morph. The snow geese are not alone. They are also joined by some tundra swans. In the outer part of the field, the Canada geese and seagulls are more visible, and the swans are more numerous. This right here is not a tundra, but a trumpeter swan, the largest swan in the world. And it is either feeding on grain or little aquatic invertebrates. Trumpeter swans have a much more fragmented range than tundra swans, but they have been known to winter in eastern Maryland. We still have not gotten a look at that rare mammal, but maybe our luck will change if we wait till December. The snow geese have not arrived yet, but there are birds that live here year-round, such as great blue herons and mallards. But there are still birds that don't breed here, like these northern pintails. These extroverted ducks are almost always found together. Now, we will search the forest for that rare mammal, because it is a kind of squirrel. A strange one, though. Unfortunately, the most interesting thing going on here is that the American hollies have berries now. And the only squirrels here are common eastern gray squirrels. However, in the water is a mammal that is even more elusive, the American river otter. This general area is home to the highest otter population in Maryland. This is a green-winged teal, the smallest duck in North America. And like last winter, there are both tundra and trumpeter swans. But this one seems to have characteristics from both species, so maybe it's a hybrid, but no hybrids have really been documented in the wild before, so it's more likely that I'm just dumb. Down here, the Blackwater River turns into tidal ponds that are home to shorebirds like this killdeer. Gazing down upon everything is the king and queen of America, a bald eagle pair. And Blackwater National Wildlife Refuge has the highest density of bald eagles north of Florida on the East Coast. Listen, they're talking, or perhaps quietly arguing over the fish. In the mid-20th century, bald eagles were endangered in the continental United States, but thanks to conservation efforts, their population has expanded and continues to. Now spring has finally arrived, and the landscape has turned from brown to green. And in this marsh, there are shorebirds, like this least sandpiper, who is joined by a semi-palmated plover. Unlike the sandpiper who just probes for food, the semi-palmated plover carefully looks for food before they peck. Like always, there are great blue herons here, but this time of year there are also great egrets, and this one just caught a crayfish. This patch of dead trees may not seem like much, but it is home to red-headed woodpeckers, who nest almost exclusively in dead trees. In fact, this one is making a nest right now. Humans removing dead trees is one of the main reasons why these woodpeckers are getting harder to find. According to the North American Breeding Bird Survey, their population has declined by over 54% since 1966. But before all of that, in the 1800s, they were very common birds. Today, they can be found from southern Saskatchewan to Florida and have a very omnivorous diet consisting of 2/3 plants and 1/3 animal material. Red-headed woodpeckers also happen to be skilled at catching insects in flight, and like their acorn woodpecker relatives, they have been known to store food. Meanwhile, on the ground is a little pond with northern blue flag irises growing along it. And living in it is an adorable rodent known as a muskrat. They are native only to North America and get their name from scent glands that produce a musky odor used to mark their territory. Muskrats eat mostly aquatic plants along with smaller aquatic animals. And thanks to their strong incisors that never stop growing, they can eat hard stems like if they are just bananas. Rodents actually need to chew on hard things in order to wear their teeth down. One interesting thing about this species is that they often hold their food with their hands, which each have a little thumb. It is also worth mentioning that muskrats are not rats, and they are not a miniature kind of beaver either. Instead, they are more closely related to voles. And he just finished his snack. Believe it or not, this is the same forest from earlier, but now its cold-blooded residents have come out, like this skink. Probably a broad-headed skink. In the leaf litter is a Fowler's toad. You can distinguish them from the American toad by looking at their back. Finally, this is what we have been looking for. The Delmarva fox squirrel. They are a rare subspecies of the eastern fox squirrel that has a population of only 20,000. They are not like other tree squirrels in that they spend most of their time on the ground and are a lot less agile. In fact, this one seems to walk like a skunk. However, they can still climb trees, but usually just to escape predators. Although these squirrels do not have many predators, because they happen to be the largest tree squirrel in the Western Hemisphere, reaching lengths of 28 inches. Delmarva fox squirrels prefer open forests with mature trees that provide them nuts and acorns to eat. They once lived across the entire Delmarva Peninsula and far into southeastern Pennsylvania. But due to logging and overhunting, they lost 90% of their range and occurred in only 4 Maryland counties. By 1967, they were endangered, but thanks to reintroduction programs and other conservation efforts, they were removed from the endangered species list in 2015. And now they occupy 28% of their former range, occurring in most of eastern Maryland's counties, along with small populations in Delaware and Virginia. This journey isn't over yet, because the area around Diefenbach Pond is also full of life. In a shallow area is a group of shorebirds. Here, there are greater yellowlegs, least sandpipers, and dunlins, along with a glossy ibis, which is not a shorebird, but a wading bird. They are called glossy ibises for a reason, and that is that their feathers are glossy. This greater yellowlegs does not want to give up its foraging area to another yellowlegs, so it is spreading its wings in an act of aggression. Over here, there are two larger shorebirds, known as short-billed dowitchers. But thank you for watching this video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Subscribe if you have not already, and have a great day.